to my kitchen. I'm Steve, and on this episode of Cooking with Love, I'm going to be making an old-fashioned bread pudding. Now, bread pudding is a dessert that my grandmother used to make for us when we were children. It's very, very simple to make. It's actually a great dessert to make with your kids or your grandkids as a project. It's also a frugal dessert. Traditionally, it's made with day-old or stale bread. This way you can use up that old bread and let nothing go to waste. In the past, what I've done is my family doesn't like to eat the heels of the bread, so I've stored it in a Ziploc bag in the freezer, and when I've accumulated enough of them, you can go ahead and use it for your dessert. They'll certainly eat the heels when it's made into a pudding. All right, let's get started. The ingredients we need to make our bread pudding is bread. Today I'm using a challah bread. You can use any bread, again, that's available. This is a frugal dessert. I like to use the challah or brioche because they're already a little bit sweet, and they have some texture to it, so that the bread pudding is going to have a little bit more texture. I'm going to cut this bread up into 1 to 2 inch cubes. We also need whole milk, granulated sugar, butter, which I'm going to melt in the microwave. We'll also need a little extra butter to butter our casserole dish. We have vanilla, salt, ground cinnamon, ground nutmeg, large eggs, and optionally raisins. I don't consider raisins to be optional. I love raisins, so I'm going to put it in. All right, the first step will be to cut up our bread. I turned our oven on to preheat to 400. I'm going to start slicing up this bread. And you can see how thick it is. And you can see I'm making cubes. They're 1 to 2 inches cubes. So I'm just going to continue doing that. I'm also going to measure out the amount of bread, and the recipe has the details on how much bread you need. Now that our bread is cut, I'm going to combine the other ingredients in a large mixing bowl. First, I'm going to add the milk and the sugar. I'm just going to mix them well. Then I'm going to add the melted butter. Now our eggs. I got my whisk, it'll make it a little easier to combine. Now we're going to add the nutmeg, cinnamon, vanilla, and the salt. And again, whisk until everything is well combined. I'm going to add the raisins. And then our bread. And I want to keep turning the bread in the liquid until everything is saturated. I have the buttered casserole dish, and now I'm going to add our bread to the casserole dish. I'm just going to even it out, and I have a little bit of liquid. I'm just going to pour that into it. All right, it's ready for the oven. We're going to put it in at 400 for about 15 minutes, and then we're going to turn the temperature down to 300 and cook it until it's set. probably about another 20 minutes. Our bread pudding is finished. I let it rest for about a half hour after taking it out of the oven. So it's still warm. I'm serving it with a little bit of ice cream, which is my favorite way of having it. And give it a little taste test here. Very, very good. Bring back a lot of memories. Again, very, very simple dessert to make. A frugal dessert. I think your family's going to love it. Give it a try. We'll see you on the next episode.